We are back live from Fifth Third Arena on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. My name is Aiden Riggs. I am joined alongside Ethan Herzog, Bearcats Sports Radio. The 20th ranked Cincinnati Bearcats in the preseason AP poll, set to take on the Arkansa Pine-Bluff Golden Lions. Ethan, we're as excited as we have been for a Cincinnati basketball season in a good minute.
I mean, this marks a good time for Cincinnati basketball, one of the deepest returning rosters that we've seen in a very long time. This is the first time that the Bearcats have been ranked in the preseason poll since 2017 and 18. So last time ranked overall was back in 19. You know what they did then? They made the tournament. So you have to ask the question, what's it going to take? And we think that there's a lot that's gone the way of Wes Miller in the recruiting. I mean, you see Dylan Mitchell, and we'll talk about it all throughout this broadcast, but Dylan Mitchell, he was perfect from the floor in the exhibition game against Ohio State. So what does that say about the talent that the Texas transfer brings in? You have Aziz Bandago, Dan Skillings, Jizzle James, Connor Hickman, to name a few. You have... You also have Rayvon as well.
We've got a lot.
We've got
a lot to get into about this Bearcats team. We could talk about them for hours.
We could.
First, I do want to mention, you mentioned returning scores.
Yes.
69% of scores from last year is returning for this Bearcats team. That's second in the Big 12, only trailing Houston.
Yep.
This Bearcats team, returning firepower. You've got your starters, the potentially returning. You have Dan Skillins, your leading scorer. Second leading scorer, Simas Lukosius, Jizzle James, the standout freshman, Aziz Bandago, Day Thomas. The list goes on and on. What do you think is going to come from this Bearcats with returning players?
I mean, it's going to be high scoring. It's going to be really high scoring, and you have two key bigs now, but you also don't forget, and this was reported very recently by Bearcat Journal, Halvin Zella, he's eligible. Yep. He won his NCAA transfer form.
Little shades of last year on this one. Last second. Waiver getting cleared. Very
last second. So he's available for tonight. We don't know how much we'll see. He did practice. He's been practicing with the squad. He's dressed. We'll see. On terms of being dressed, Day Thomas is not, probably just precautionary. Because why would you want to waste or possibly re-injure yourself against, no offense, a mid-major team coming in on a bye game?
Arkansa Pine-Bluff was 13-18 last year, went 8-10 in the SWAC conference, did get eliminated in the first round of their conference tournament. Now, back to the Bearcats we go. 3 big-name transfers coming in for the Cats. Connor Hickman from Bradley, Dylan Mitchell from Texas, and Artinen Page from USC. Hickman averaged 14.5 points a game. That would have led the Bearcats last year in scoring. Mitchell, former McDonald's All-American, brings in Big 12 experience, including 21 points last year against soon-to-be national champion, the UConn Huskies. Page joins from USC after starting 4 games as a freshman last year. Experience coming into the Bearcats.
Big.
We didn't see that a lot last year when it came to transfers. Now when you see that, this Bearcats team, they're deep with experience all around.
They are. And the big thing, too, is that Arlington Page, that was a target for Wes Miller that he lost out on and ended up bringing him back anyway. Because why not? I mean, because that's the name of the game in most of college athletics in 2024 is the transfer portal. You see it in football, you see it in baseball, you see it in men's basketball, women's soccer, men's soccer. You see it everywhere. You have to go into the transfer portal and fight for those big names like Wes Miller has done, who's in his 14th year coaching, 4th at UC, and you see what he's brought in the portal. He's lost a couple of names. He notably Odi Oguama and John Newman III, but Odi and John both graduated. You had, now his name slips my mind, transfer from USF.
Oh my God.
I literally cannot remember his name to save my life. But he transferred out.
I know who you're talking about.
Victor Locken transferred out.
Of course.
He went to Clemson. So we have a brand new introduction here.
Real here.
The lights have gone up in Fifth Third Arena. Year after year, this environment evolves, and it is easily one of the best environments in all of college basketball. And I say it rivals Duke, UNC, Houston, obviously, Xavier.
As
Look
here
at
come
this.
the Bearcats onto the floor, ready to start their 24-25 campaign. The second year in the Big 12, the second year as a Jordan school as well.
Yes.
One of the few schools to earn that title. As the Bearcats take the floor in their all-white uniforms, it's about game time from Cincinnati.
It is about to go down. One might say the excitement is palpable.
Shout out John Rosted.
That was one of the posts I made.
We sleep in May.
We will sleep in May, ladies and gentlemen.
Now we are about 2 or 3 minutes away from tip here from Fifth Third Arena. Starting lineups have been announced for each team. First, for the Arkansa Pine-Bluff Golden Lions, starting out at guard, we have number 1, Christian Moore. Also at guard, number 2, Zach Reinhart. At forward, number 22, Robert Lewis. At forward, number 24, Kyle Brown. And rounding out the starting 5 at forward, number 33, Quentin Bolton Jr. Now, heading to the Bearcats. The starting 5 as announced by Wes Miller. Starting at guard, number 0, Dan Skillings Jr. Also at guard, number 2, Jizzle James. At forward, number 23, Dylan Mitchell. At forward, number 41, Simas Lukosius. And rounding out the 5 at center, Aziz Bandago.
And that's about what we were talking about pregame. We're talking about who that 5 might be, and it's to a T what you said. Skillings, Jizzle, Dylan, Simas, and Aziz. And you're going to see a lot of big. You're going to see a lot of big coming up from the Bearcats. I mean, you have Aziz Bandago, he's 7 foot even. Dylan Mitchell, 6'8". Dan Skillings, 6'6". Your 2 shortest players on the floor are Jizzle James. He stands at 6'3". Simas, who's 6'8".
You know, this is something I don't think we saw often last year.
No.
Either. It was a big lineup for the Cats. We saw a lot of Simas playing that 4.
Yep.
I saw him a couple times play the 5 at some points.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Simas, I consider him more to be a small forward, almost shooting guard type player. He had to play that big role at times last year.
Yep.
Bringing in Mitchell, bringing in Page. We've got now, not even mentioning the freshman, Tyler Betsy.
Yep.
He can play that power forward as well. This is a different look for the Bearcats this year. I'm really intrigued to see how Wes Miller decides to play this throughout the game. Expect to see everyone off the bench. I mean, this is awesome. I'm so excited for this game. I'm ready.
I have been waiting for Bearcats basketball since last season ended. Both women's and men's, for their own reasons separately. But nothing beats a night in November through May watching college basketball, especially in the Queen City, where it just, SEC, it means more. But this is exactly where you want to be on a Monday night. Lucky for me, I don't work tomorrow morning, so that's pretty cool. It's also election day, so I'm off school.
You mentioned it earlier. First time since 2017-18 that the Bearcats have been ranked in the preseason poll. First time since 18-19 they've been ranked at all. Saw them come pretty close last year at times. Couldn't quite crack the top 25. Part of this 6 Big 12 teams making the top 25. The first conference in NCAA history with 5 of the preseason top 10. The Big 12 is loaded. All teams in the top 100 in net rankings.
The Big 12 is the premier college basketball conference, and you see it tonight as well. The matchups coming through. Looking at ESPN here, UCF plays Texas A&M, Robert Morris, West Virginia. Howard plays number 1 Kansas, Jackson State, Houston, Mississippi Valley versus Iowa State. The list goes on and on and on. But there are so many different aspects of this. We'll take a quick moment of silence here at Fifth Third Arena, honoring USF college basketball coach Amir Abdur-Rahim, who sadly passed away very recently. We'll be right back in just a few seconds.
The late Amir Abdur-Rahim. Thank you. Good evening, Bearcats.
Thoughts go out to him and his family. Obviously, tragic passing for a very talented, very successful head coach down in South Florida.
Former opponent of the Bearcats.
Yes.
Very familiar with him in Fifth Third Arena. Starters are being announced here in Fifth Third as we...
Shouts out to PA announcer Nick Wiggett. He's everywhere, all at once, all the time. Had Bengals yesterday. Has Bearcat today.
His mileage must be insane.
Oh, yes.
I cannot imagine.
Because he has this tonight. Friday, he has Bearcats again. He has Ohio State and men's basketball, I think men's hockey as well. Bengals are out of town, so that's at least something for him. But very busy man, very, very respected, very well known in the industry, at least in this region. He works everywhere. Good dude. One of my good friends. One of my good friends.
Bearcats set to be announced here in a second. UAPB was just announced. We couldn't find a lot on the Golden Lions when we were searching online, but we do know they went 13 and 18 last year overall, 8 and 10 in the SWAC conference. This is not a team necessarily you want to fully look over if you are the Bearcats.
No.
There's never going to be a game you want to do that, but this is a game for the Bearcats where they can play around with their lineup a little bit, figure out what they want to do. They had that exhibition against Ohio State. They looked really strong throughout the whole thing. Great showing there in the exhibition. If you're the Bearcats here, what do you want to achieve in this game?
Just knock down the basics. You got to get everything squared away right here, right now. Work on ball management, work on ball movement, shooting, looking for the good shots, because obviously you look at this team, Arkansa Pine-Bluff, they haven't had a winning season since 2013. Back then, they went 18 and 16, but then before that, they didn't have a winning record in those years, and the website went all the way back to 2008. They've had one winning season in over 20 years, but you never know. You get caught on the back foot, and it's over. But if Cincinnati comes out like they did against Ohio State, and they play to their full potential with this lineup that they have created for themselves, you're going to see possibly a total annihilation of Arkansa Pine-Bluff, with a team that is incredibly talented, very loaded, very deep with their roster and their depth chart. This is going to be a great season for Cincinnati.
5-0 all-time against UAPB are the Bearcats. We mentioned in their last meeting, I believe they won 140 to 58 or something around that number.
49 they scored.
The exact, yeah, there you go, 49.
Something like that.
One of those matchups did occur at BB&T Arena in Northern Kentucky.
Yeah, because you discovered that the Bearcats played down at NKU while Fifth Third was being renovated.
I was not aware of that one.
Yeah, that was before.
That was a new one.
That was before my time in college. That was about, I think, a year or 2 years before the Bearcats had the new home Fifth Third Arena. They've always had it, but it got renovated back many years ago to the way that it looks now, with the Daktronic ribbon boards, the new video board up top, the new floors, new seating, extended seating up to the top, different suites. But now it stands, and it's over 12,000 capacity, one of the loudest venues across college basketball, especially when it's sold out.
As it is tonight, it appears there will be 12,000 people. We believe there's a few empty seats, people still filling in as we're ready to get things underway here. Both teams about to take the floor. We're getting ready. I don't think we can talk enough about our excitement for this.
I don't think so either.
We are so ready for Bearcats basketball. Had the great run in the NIT last year. Came up just short against Indiana State in the quarterfinals. The Bearcats, of course, have their eyes set, though, on the NCAA tournament this year.
And they have as good a shot as any to make it, especially with this team. And there's experience to be had, especially in Dylan Mitchell, who made the tournament, would lose to UConn in the tournament. And here we go. What a time. What a time to be in Cincinnati.
Bearcats basketball is back. The number 20 team in the nation, the Cincinnati Bearcats, are set to open up their 2024 campaign. Here we go. The moment we've been waiting for.
Kyle Brown and Aziz Bandego step into the center circle as the Bearcats look to rally around this brand new Bearcat squad in their second year in the Big 12. My friend, let's get it.
Aziz Bandego sets at center court at 7 foot. Kyle Brown at 6'9". The big men are ready to tip this thing off.
You got Jizzle right behind Aziz as well. Mitchell flanking off to Aziz's right. Dan Skillings off to his left. Lukosius on the opposite end of the floor.
As there's the buzzer, and we're ready to get things underway here from Fifth Third Arena on the campus of the University of Cincinnati. Down the drive they go as we're ready to tip things off here in the 2024-25 campaign for your Cincinnati Bearcats. Aziz Bandego wins the tip. Back to Jizzle James. They'll start things out going from left to right on your dial. Simas Lukosius ready to start things out outside the arc. Up to Jizzle James, working his way to his right. Dylan Mitchell, the new transfer from Texas, backs down his defender, Robert Lewis. In the paint he goes. Up he goes with it. Can't quite find it. Battles for his rebound. Dan Skillings comes down with it. Puts it back up. That's no good. Down with the rebound is Robert Lewis for the Golden Lions. Up fast they go. Bolton on this right side. Just off the Fifth Third logo now is Christian Moore. Tight defense from Mitchell on Brown. Far side makes its way to Lewis. Lewis working his way back up towards the top of the arc. Quick pass now down to Reinhardt. Top of the arc, back up to Moore. Working on Jizzle James. Behind his back he goes. Inside the arc. Back up top, it was Brown. Inside the arc he goes. Bolton's going to put one up. They'll put the first points of the game on the board. 2-0, the Lions lead.
And I do want to mention as well, back in that last offensive possession for Cincinnati, they had really great offensive rebounding, just couldn't quite come up with an answer for them.
Jizzle James took a little fadeaway shot there. It wasn't good. It's going to go out of bounds off of the Lions. Throw in for the Bearcats underneath the basket.
And that's one thing too about Jizzle James. He's crafty. He's gonna come onto the floor and he's gonna make things happen no matter what.
Simas Lukosius set to throw it in, gets it into Dan Skillings. Skillings in that corner, back up top to Jizzle. Jizzle James pull-up jumper, that bounces off the front iron. No good. Foul on the floor though against the Lions.
It's a deep 2 for Jizzle. And that's what I said before too, is you're going to be a little shaky. You had the exhibition game against Ohio State, so you obviously have that, but you got to work, especially in this setting, to get things really nailed down.
Simas Lukosius drives his way into the paint. First points of the season for the Bearcats. They'll tie it up at 2. Back up the floor go the Golden Lions. Christian Moore playing point guard. Reinhardt now into the paint, back outside. Makes his way to Lewis. In the hands of Kyle Brown. Reinhardt now battling on Skillings. Deep 3 is going to come from Lewis. That's no good. Bounced around a couple hands. Bearcats come away with it. Dan Skillings across midcourt. Hands off Dylan Mitchell. Mitchell driving towards the basket. Puts it up. It's good. Banks it in for 2.
And that's the strength of Dylan Mitchell right there. He's able to power through the middle of the paint and just find 2.
Bearcats lead this one 4-2 through 2 minutes in the first half. Christian Moore takes it up, drives into the basket, finger roll up and in. Christian Moore ties it up at 4. Bearcats with it now. Jizzle James on the right side of the court. Takes a screen from Bandego. 3 from James is up. That's no good. Battle for the rebound. Reinhardt comes down with it. James forced that one up a little fast there.
And that's a problem I've seen with the Bearcats since I've started college, is just not using the entire shot clock, as that one's up and good for 2 by Moore. 6-4, Arkansas leads.
Pine-Bluff not going away easy here through the first 3 minutes. They lead by 2. Jizzle James, the right side of the court. Inside the arc, works his way back up top the key. Dylan Mitchell now is going to pull up for 3 from the wing. That's no good. Bounce around a couple hands. Pine-Bluff comes down with it. Christian Moore up the... You go.
No, you're good. Good spot for Mitchell, just too strong.
Christian Moore taking up the floor. Hands off Kyle Brown. Down low, they try and go. Stolen away by Dan Skillings. Fouled on the way up the floor. He goes. Quentin Bolton's going to get his second foul of the game.
That's a right place, right time for Dan Skillings. So it looks like Connor Hickman's going to substitute into the match. Soccer's not happening right now. As Dan Skillings will step off the floor, Connor Hickman will come in his place. But that was a great steal from Dan Skillings and a great way of drawing the defensive foul on Arkansas as well.
Connor Hickman, the transfer from Bradley, 14.5 points per game last year, had 8 20-point games on the season. His first action as a Bearcat. Of course, this season ended last year here in Fifth Third Arena in the NIT. Aziz Bandego up top. Hand it off to Hickman now at top of the key. Working his way to his right. Stops for a second, keeps battling towards the hoop. Down to Dylan Mitchell. Backs down his defender. Tries to kick it back outside. Going to go out of bounds off of Christian Moore. Bearcats will have the ball with 12 seconds remaining on the shot clock.
It was a bit of a misread there from Dylan Mitchell. Thought that Jizzle was going to come back down closer to the baseline, but lucked out in the end as it grazes off of Moore's fingertips.
Jizzle gets it into Lukashis. Lukashis towards the top of the arc. Inside Aziz Bandego. He's hit hard in the paint. That's going to be a foul against Robert Lewis.
And that's not exactly what you'd want to go for. I'm not going to lie. And they're going to get the shooting foul as well, so it'll be the first time we're going to see the Bearcats at the stripe this season. Aziz Bandego going to take it first.
Aziz Bandego struggled at the line at times last year. His first shot is up. Now it's going to rattle its way in.
He's worked on it in the offseason.
He does get his first points of this 24-25 campaign. Bandego twirls the ball. Puts up his second. That one's going to go off the front rim. It's going to be battled for, and a foul is going to be called, I believe, against Simas Lukosius. It will go against Simas. It's going to be their first foul of the night. Pine-Bluff takes it up the floor. They lead this one 6-5 over the Bearcats. 16:30 remains in the first half. Moore had it. Now works his way to his left on Jizzle James. Puts up a little floater. That's no good. Coming down the rebound, though, is Dylan Mitchell. Dylan Mitchell takes it up the right side. Here comes Jizzle James. Cross-court pass, Simas Lukosius. Connor Hickman for three from the corner. That's good. Connor Hickman, his first as a Bearcat.
And that's what you're going to see a lot of Connor Hickman for. And I remember in a presser very early in the preseason that he doesn't look like much, but he's got the sauce.
Three is up from Pine-Bluff. That's good. Robert Lewis gets a three to silence the crowd. They take a 9-8 lead. 16 remains in the first half. Jizzle James takes up the floor for the Cats. Works his way to the right. Throws up a lob. Aziz Bandego. Aziz Bandego gets his first slam of the season.
And that's going to be something you see as well. I'm going to say it like a broken record throughout this entire broadcast. Look for those dunks, especially from Aziz Bandego.
Cats lead this one 10-9. Christian Moore, top of the arc. Reinhardt now, right in front of the Bearcats bench, guarded by Hickman. Reinhardt working his way towards the baseline, lost it for a second. It's going to go out of bounds off of Hickman. Ruckus did not love that call in front of them, as that's going to lead to the under-16 media timeout. Bearcats lead this one 10-9 over the Golden Lions. We'll take a short break here and be back shortly. Welcome back to Fifth Third Arena. Here on the campus of the University of Cincinnati, the Bearcats lead this one 10-9 over the Arkansa Pine-Bluff Golden Lions. Ethan, what are your thoughts so far?
It's a little sloppy, but that's to be expected first game of the season. And I said it in the pregame, I think it's just it's going to be a matter of just nailing it down. You're going to have to nail it down, and this is the time to do it. It's your non-conference bye games that you schedule for this reason to figure it out very early in the season. And you look at the Bearcats' overall schedule as well, and the non-con looks significantly more challenging coming up because, I mean, you have Arkansas, Pine-Bluff, Morehead State on Friday, Nichols as well. Northern Kentucky is always a sleeper. Georgia Tech, Alabama State, back to the SWAC will go. They're at Villanova for their first installment as members of the Big 12 in the Big 12 Big East battle. Then after that, they have Howard. Howard's always pretty good. Xavier, which it's Xavier. Then Dayton, who's always really good as well. Then Grambling State before you open up at Kansas State in conference play. But like I was saying, this is a time to get all those bugs figured out and be able to come into the conference slate with an upper hand.
Pine-Bluff ready to throw this one in underneath the basket. Quickly gets it in to Sawyer. That ball is up and it is good. They're going to take an 11-9 lead on that one. Quick basket off the inbound for the Golden Lions.
It's really just a slow start, and I feel like it also attributes to the fact that they've taken a lot of quick shots.
Jizzle James down low now. Dylan Mitchell backing down his defender. Foul is going to be called on the floor. That's going to go against number 22, Robert Lewis. That's going to be his second foul.
Foul is on the goal line is number 22, Robert Lewis is second.
4 fouls already on the Golden Lions. Only 5 minutes into the game.
That might be the saving grace for the Bearcats as well.
Keep an eye on that. Jizzle James ready to throw it in. Weighs his options, going to see Mouse with coaches. 3 from the corner, that's high, that's no good.
Oh.
Tipped on the way up, Jizzle James got the rebound. Back up and good, and one for James.
That was great, a great position for Jizzle James to be in. Lukosius didn't get his feet set on that corner 3, so it was a little wild, but Jizzle was there to grab it and finish it. In a big boy play to get the and 1.
James at the line, ready for his and 1. Put the Cats up by 2. That one's no good off the back iron. Couple missed free throws quickly here for the Bearcats. Have to watch that out as the game goes on. Pine-Bluff with it. Taking it up the floor is Christian Moore. Moore working on James. Gets it outside. Here's Vuga. Vuga trying to work his way into the paint on Aziz Bandego. Picks up his dribble. Kind of stuck in a spot there. He's going to have to throw it up. Makes his way to Robert Lewis. Back up top, Reinhardt. Reinhardt working on Hickman. Works to his left. Into the corner it went to Moore for a second. Back up to Reinhardt. Crowd erupts. Reinhardt's going to throw that one up. That's no good right before the buzzer. That's going to be a shot clock violation against the Golden Lions. Couldn't get a shot off there on the tight defense with Bearcats.
That's the definition of a desperation shot there if you're Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Really just threw it up in the air, saying a prayer, Hail Mary if you will, and off the glass it'll go. But this is the kind of defense that you want to see from Cincinnati as well. They're locking down very quickly, and I think they've kind of realized that they have to step things up if they're going to want to compete in this game.
A lot of questions coming into the year on the defense as well, losing John Newman, who is a defensive powerhouse. Down low, Arton and Page nearly into the game. That one's no good. Rebounded by Pine-Bluff. Taking it up the floor from Christian Moore. Had a little bit of speed, slows up for a little bit. Back into the paint he goes, throws it off the backboard. That's no good. Rebounded by Mitchell. Mitchell up the floor quickly. Seamoss from Kocius. Battles with his man towards the baseline. Stops for a second, backing down his defender. Spin move, puts it up off the backboard, and it's good. Seamoss Lukosius.
That's nasty. Nasty work from Seamoss Lukosius.
Cats lead this one 14-11. Quick steal by Page. Here come the Bearcats once again. Seamoss up the middle of the floor. Out to Connor Hickman. Thought about the 3. Drives inside. Finger roll up and good. What a move from Connor Hickman. And timeout Pine-Bluff.
Those are the fireworks you want to see if you're Cincinnati. Just with the steal, multiple finger rolls. I mean, look at just the cohesiveness of this team. They have it down. They just had to flip it into high gear, and now here they are.
That little double move from Hickman going up there was beautiful.
Yeah. We are going to see so much from these transfers, especially Arlington Page and Connor Hickman.
You brought it up earlier about his press conference in the offseason.
Yeah.
His exact quote, I'm a 6'2" white guy with a comb over. You don't expect much.
Yeah.
See what he just did there?
Yeah.
You don't expect that. But he's doing it out there all the time. He's got 5 points.
I mean,
leading scorer for the Bearcats here so far through 7.
You look at Connor Hickman. He listed as 6'3" officially, Bloomington, Indiana native. He has the chance to be in the league. You can see him in the league. He wouldn't be a high draft pick because he's a 6'2" white boy with a comb over, but you could see him in the league. I'm just going to put it out there.
Pine-Bluff throws it back in, ready to resume off of this timeout. Up the floor for him is Christian Moore. He's back by 2 Bearcats. Dan Skillings slams it home. Daniel Skillings gets the Cats going. They lead 18-11.
That's last year's leading scorer for you right there, and that was exactly what he'd do. Another playmaker for Cincinnati, has had a great 3 years with the Bearcats.
3 is up from the corner. That is no good at all. Dan Skillings comes down on that one. Air ball thrown up.
And he snags the rebound.
Dylan Mitchell in the paint. Finger roll. That was no good. Tried to move a little fast. Christian Moore now coming up the floor for Pine-Bluff. Stops at the 5'3" logo. Battling Hickman. Outside's going to throw up the 3 from the top of the key. That one was ugly and no good. Jizzle James comes down on that rebound. 2 ugly shots on back-to-back possessions. Dan Skilling up the court with speed. Finger roll, that one's up and good. Quick basket for the Bearcats.
And what's really impressive there from Dan Skillings, he was off balance taking that shot and going up with the layup. So to get that off with the accuracy he had is insanely impressive.
Vuga has it at the top of the key for the Golden Lions. Hands it off. Dumont back up top. Vuga's going to throw up that 3 from the top. Banks it in. Right off the glass it goes. 20-14, the Cats lead this one.
And I mean, that's what you need if you're Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Just kind of get something to disrupt the momentum of Cincinnati. And a deep 3 like that's going to do it.
James on the right side. Up to Skillings up top. He's going to take that 3. That one's good. Dan Skillings buckets from up top.
Dan Skillings said, what you can do, I can do better. A 3 from almost the exact same spot on the opposite end of the court. 23-14 Cincinnati.
Christian Moore, the point guard for the Lions. Hands it off to Vuga. Up top, Dumont. Dumont working to his left. Barely gets inside the arc. Back up to Vuga. Inside the paint it goes to Sawyer. That's going to bank its way in. Off a couple hands. Timeout is going to be taken by Wes Miller off of that one. That's going to extend to the under 12 media timeout. So with that, the Bearcats lead this one 23-16. We have 12:04 remaining. We'll be back shortly here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Back inside Fifth Third Arena here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Bearcats leading this one 23-16 over the Arkansas Pine-Bluff Golden Lions. Bearcats on a 13-1 run. 5 of their last field goals were good from the field. Ethan, what are you thinking so far?
I mean, Dan Skilling, he's awoken, and he's going to be bringing the hammer down on this Arkansas Pine-Bluff team. And we've seen it. He had a couple of good steals. He had a couple of good shots. And he's snagging rebounds like no other. He's currently 7 points, 3 for 4 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3. 3 total rebounds, 1 offensive, 2 defensive, 1 steal in his 5 minutes on the floor. Also has 2 assists as well.
Leading the Cats in all 3 categories as well. Tied for assists with Jizzle James, who has 3, actually.
You know, just came in, Tyler Betsy.
Freshman. The All-American freshman.
CJ Frederick on the floor as well.
Different lineup for the Bearcats here, a little bit smaller. We'll see what happens here. Connor Hickman takes it up the floor. He's going to hand it off to CJ Frederick. Frederick missed a lot of last year with some injuries. Happy to get him back this year. Page, transfer from USC, works his way in the paint, up and good. Martin and Page gets his first as a Bearcat. Christian Moore is going to take it up the floor for Pine-Bluff. Cats lead this one 25-16, 11:38 remains. Moore working his way to his left, inside the pass goes, down to Brown. Brown backing down his defender, that's no good. Dan Skillings comes down with the rebound, his 4th. Here comes Skillings. Inside the arc he goes, back outside, Hickman for 3. That's good, buckets from Hickman.
Wow. 2 for 2 on the night so far.
Connor Hickman, we saw it last year at Bradley, and it's already transferring over here at UC. Christian Moore battles inside. That's blocked away by Betsy. The freshman blocks that one away as here comes CJ Frederick. Dan Skillings now. Back up top, Frederick. Thought about sending it up to Betsy. He's going to get it up to him this time. Here comes Tyler Betsy. Takes a screen from Page. Slows down a second. Frederick inside now. Page backing down his defender. Turns towards him. Battles his way towards the basket. Just inside the paint. He's going to throw up that hook shot. Rattles its way in. Artin and Page puts the Cats up by 14.
It's not pretty, but it works. Anything to get those points on the board. 30-16 now your score.
Christian Moore just off the CPAW logo. Working his way towards the arc. Back up top, Brown for 3. That one's good. Brown's going to put that one in to make it a 30-19 game. Connor Hickman slows things down. Under 10.5 remains in the first half. Cats lead by 11. Connor Hickman right side. Dan Skillings has some room down low. Tried to get to Page. It's going to go off his fingertips. Here comes Pine-Bluff. Dumont up the floor. Dumont takes it up. Puts up a shot. He's got fouled on the way up. That's going to go against, I believe, CJ Frederick. Instead, it's going to go against Page.
And that's just unfortunate time and place, honestly, for Arlington Page. And on the other end of the floor, it was an interesting look because I think Dan Skillings thought that Page was going to go up for the slam. So Skillings kind of threw it up in the air, expecting Page to throw it down.
Brown got it off the inbound. Now it makes its way to Moore. Moore inside the paint, throws that one up. That's no good. Aziz Bandego newly into the game gets that one. Stolen away quickly by Moore. Moore gets that one, hands it off. Here comes Brown. Brown's going to battle with Bandego. That's swatted away. Aziz Bandego gets another block.
Made up for that turnover.
Dan Skillings, corner 3. That one's no good. Bandego gets for it. Skillings gets his own rebound, puts that one up off the board, and it's good. Dan Skillings.
You see Aziz give up a steal, get it right back off a block. You see Dan Skillings miss a 3, but comes inside the paint, picks up his own rebound, and is able to finish it off.
Double watch for Skillings. That 3 is blocked away by Skillings. Dan Skillings making his presence known early. Huge block in the corner.
Oh my goodness. And he almost kept it in bounds too. On the baseline. What?
Oh my God, Dan.
Wow.
Picked to be a top 20 guard by many national outlets coming into the season, and he's showing up today.
And he decided to stay in Cincinnati.
Did talk about receiving some offers in the offseason. Said chose to stay with Wes Miller and battle for a national title with the Bearcats. Shot is up, that's no good. CJ Frederick gets that rebound. Here come the Cats. They lead 32-19, 9:15 remains. CJ Frederick outside. Jizzle James now on the left side. Into the paint he goes. Puts up a little jumper. Rattles around, that one's no good. Rebounded by Pine-Bluff.
Just a little too strong.
Christian Moore now. Just outside the arc. Battling tight with James. Little spin move there as he works his way to his left. Crafty move there, went along the baseline, but it's going to go out of bounds. Bearcats out of the basketball.
It was a good thought, just a little too strong in the dribble and lost it out of play. Caleb Jones going to enter the floor for Pine-Bluff as well, number 55.
It's the first time Moore is going to come out of the game. Josh Reed's going to come into the game, replacing Tyler Betsy. Cheers all around the student section for that one. Bearcats going through their entire lineup, most likely tonight. Jizzle James took it up the floor. He's going to give it off C.J. Frederick. Frederick gives it back up top to James. Works his way to his right. Inside the arc, little pull-up jumper. That's good. Buckets from James on that one.
James, he's been a little slow to start. This is only his second bucket of the night. He's 2 for 6 now, 4 points.
Caleb Jones inside the arc for that one. Hands it off quickly to Bolton. He's going to put that one up and good.
Just an unmarked man in the paint.
34-21, the Cats lead. 8:15 remains in the first half. Foul down low off the ball.
Defensive foul.
Defensive foul. Aziz Bandego went down on the floor.
I think he milked it a little bit too much. That's all right. He won the foul.
That's going to be the 7th, I believe, against Pine-Bluff.
If I can find the number of fouls on the score. No, it'll be number 6.
Is it number 6? I couldn't tell if that was
We're one away from a bonus situation for Cincinnati.
James set to inbound it beneath the basket for the Bearcats. Gets it in quickly to Skillings. Skillings now in this corner. C.J. Frederick up top. Hands off Bandego. Quick screen off that. Loaded Bandego. Slams it home. Aziz Bandego slams that one home to put the Cats up 15.
That was the smartest thing I have seen in a while. Not taking the three-pointer, but finding Aziz down low.
Josh Reed tried to steal that one away from Brown. Couldn't quite get it. Brown has the ball now. Up top, makes his way to Reinhardt. 11 on the shot clock. Up top, Sawyer. Battled his way into the paint. Throws that one up off the backboard and good.
Skillings tried to get a swat at it. I think it just missed.
James on the right side of the floor. On that 5th third logo. Makes his way to the arc. Aziz Bandego. C.J. Frederick just off the C-paw. To the right side. Hard screen from Bandego on that. C.J. Frederick's shot is no good. Rebounded by Reinhardt.
I'm honestly surprised that wasn't called a foul.
It's a hard screen from Bandego. Kind of blindsided him. Pine-Bluff has it. Reinhardt battles his way towards the basket. Thrown off the backboard. That's no good. Jizzle James comes down with the rebound. Here comes Josh Reed, left side. Throws it into Bandego. Bandego inside the paint. Battles for it. Gets the basket. Aziz Bandego.
That's a good pick from Josh Reed.
Cats lead this one 38-23. Under 7 remains in the first half. Caleb Jones. We're going to take the 3. That one's good. Caleb Jones buckets from outside. That was smooth. 38-26, the Bearcats lead. 12-point lead, 6:40 remains in the first half. Jizzle James, right side of the floor. Across midcourt he goes. Slows down for a second, lets his offense develop. Skillings going to come up top with him. We'll pass back and forth. Josh Reed from the corner, thought about the 3, up to Jizzle James. James, pull-up jumper from mid-range. That one's no good. Bounces off a couple hands. Pine-Bluff comes down with it. Pine-Bluff's going to slow down as well. Slowly across midcourt goes Jones. The right side, try to go around James, couldn't quite do it. Hands it off to Brown. Brown now inside the arc. Bounces around a little bit, going to pull up that mid-range jumper. That's good. That's going to bring them within 10, and a quick timeout from Wes Miller.
I will say this: if I'm Wes Miller and I'm upset, I think he has every right to be, just because I think that he will probably feel like Cincinnati should have a much higher lead against Arkansas Pine-Bluff. To be completely blunt here, they're up 38-28. It could very easily be 48-28 if you'd taken a couple of shots back.
You know, I mentioned it earlier, defensive-wise. There's a lot of questions when he lost John Newman, who is such a lockdown defender. And they need someone to step up. Someone's got to step up and take that role. And you don't really know who that's going to be right now. Wes Miller has talked about it, how he's telling his guys in practice, hey, someone's got to take that role. Someone needs to be that guy that we can always go to that's going to get the stop when we need it. And we're kind of seeing early here, you're letting Pine-Bluff get some early baskets. They got to figure out a way to really tighten up, and what are they going to do the rest of this first half going into the second half, figure out defensive-wise, because no offense to Pine-Bluff, this is going to be one of the weaker teams to play offensively.
You look at last year, Josh Reed came in a lot. He was a big defensive guy, but he was more of a substitution kind of guy. He's not one to get many points on the board, but he was great in late game scenarios, creating defensive stops and creating turnovers. And the difference between him and John Newman is that John Newman, he was able to create points and also create a lot of defensive scenarios and create turnovers for the Bearcats. And I think if you look at this team, you have Dan Skillings. Dan Skillings has a fantastic defensive mind if you look at him that way, and he's able to create points. He's a very crafty player. He's able to create a lot of scoring opportunities, especially up in that guard spot, typically the 1 or the 2. But you don't know. You really don't know who's going to be that defensive man.
Sorry for distracting you.
No, they're doing the Skyline Chili parachute, and one got stuck.
That's tragic.
That's awful. Give the people what they want, and that's Skyline Chili. Usually. You know, one thing that I will never forget is the Crosstown shootout 2 years ago. I think it was when Dana Beers officially committed to Cincinnati, quote unquote, committed, whatever you want, committed his fandom, I guess. And we interviewed him at halftime for the Crosstown shootout. We got him on, which is still one of my favorite interviews to date. And he's given me a recommendation on a Skyline item. It's a Cholito, the spaghetti. I think it's called in some places it's called a Tom Brady. Don't ask me why. But there's that. But you get the spaghetti and the fries in it.
Oh, California almost.
Delicious.
Oh.
Absolutely divine.
A Cholito is not on my radar.
A Cholito is amazing, just by itself.
I'm just a three-way guy.
Gotta get yourself a Cholito one time. I'll take you.
We're back here. Bearcats lead this one 38-28. 6 minutes remain in the first half. Seamosley coaches with it for the Cats. Inside, trying to get it to Mitchell. Bounce off his hand for a little bit. He's going to come away with it. Lost his dribble, though. He's going to take this one. Backs down his defender. Into the paint he goes. Fadeaway jumper off the backboard. That's no good. Foul down low, though, against Pine-Bluff. Page went down hard.
Had one player as well trip over him. It was Quentin Bolton.
I think that's going to send Page to the line. Bearcats do enter the bonus on that one. 7th foul of the half for Pine-Bluff. Third foul for Bolton.
2 players in foul trouble for Pine-Bluff as well. You have Robert Lewis and Quentin Bolton both with 3 fouls apiece.
Martin and Page at the line for the Bearcats. First shot is up. That's no good. The 1-and-1 misses the first one.
That's another issue as well that we saw a lot last year with the Bearcats is free throws. There were a lot of instances where the free throws were really what killed the momentum for Cincinnati and lost them a lot of games, to be completely frank. And right now they have 25% from the stripe. Arkansas Pine-Bluff has nothing from the stripe. They haven't been to the line as of yet. But looking at that, hopefully the Bearcats can lock that down later in the season.
Christian Moore was double-teamed right as he got across midcourt. Goes off the foot of Dylan Mitchell. Resets the shot clock to 20.
It's Tyler Betsy again.
Betsy will come to the game, replacing Josh Reed. Moore has it. Inside, works his way to his right. He's going to pull up from the top of the key. That was no good off the backboard. Come down if it was Mitchell. Hickman with it across midcourt. Back up to Mitchell inside the paint. Tried to go, stolen away quickly by Moore. Here comes Pine-Bluff. Left side, Sawyer bows his way towards the basket. Fouled on the way up. He's going to go for the line for 2.
That was a nifty little steal there from Pine-Bluff. I mean, I didn't even see it coming. He just kind of reached in there mid-dribble and took it away.
As you mentioned, Pine-Bluff's first free throws of the night coming. It will be Dante Sawyer at the line.
Of course, right as I say that Pine-Bluff hasn't made it to the stripe, they make it to the stripe not even 2 minutes later.
Classic announcers, James.
Always, I can't escape it.
Student section behind the net. Comes alive, first shot is up, and that is good. Pine-Bluff within 10 now. 38-29 is your score, 5:17 remains. Second shot from Sawyer incoming. Sawyer with 7 points on the night, looking for his 8th. That shot's up, and that's good as well. 8-point lead for the Cats. Hickman's going to take it up the floor on the right side. Motions his offense. Mitchell works his way back up. Back to Hickman. Outside Betsy. Betsy for 3. No shot. He made the 3. A foul is going to be called. Offensive foul. It's going to be called against the Bearcats. A little confusion on the floor there from the Bearcats. They're going to lose possession.
It's going to be called on Betsy. I'm not too sure for what or why.
I guess they're getting him on a push-off. Anyway, Pine-Bluff's going to take it up the floor. They're down 8, 5 minutes go in the first half. Caleb Jones left side. Vuga, Christian Moore. Moore spin move in the paint, battling against Hickman. That's no good. Bounce off a couple hands. Hickman came away with it for a second. It's Betsy, though. Here comes Simas Lukosius up the left side. Lukosius tried to go inside the arc, back out to Hickman. Here's Betsy now on the right side up top. Hickman fakes the pass to Page, or to his left. Here's Page outside Lukosius. Lukosius for three. Bucket! Simas Lukosius! 41-30, the Cats lead.
Bearcats needed that. Bearcats needed that three bad.
Simas Lukosius with 7 on the night, inching his way towards double figures. Here's Vuga on the outside. Battling with Page, hands it off Reinhardt. Reinhardt up the right side, inside the arc, back outside Vuga. Fakes the shot, works his way towards the baseline. Towards the basket he goes, gets fouled on the way up. He's gonna go to the line for 2.
Arnton Page was in there. I think he gave him a little bit of too much of a push on the route to the basket.
5th foul of the night for the Bearcats. Vuga, 3 points already with a rebound. Cats currently lead by 11, 41-30. 4:09 remains in the first half. Vuga set to take his first shot. That one's up. That is no good off the front iron. Barely caught that front iron as well.
Yeah.
A couple subs come in for the Bearcats. It'll be Aziz Bandego replacing Arden Page. Subs ready to come in for Pine-Bluff after this next free throw. It'll be Brown replacing Vuga. Vuga has the ball, ready to take his second. Gathers the ball, puts it up. That one's good. Gets Pine-Bluff within 10. 41-31 is your score. He's replaced by Kyle Brown, as I mentioned. Dylan Mitchell set to throw it in for the Bearcats. Connor Hickman's going to take it up the floor.
Got a little bit of a press from Christian Moore.
Bigger lineup, as we mentioned, in there right now for the Bearcats, with Betsy, Bandego, and Mitchell out there along with Lukosius and Hickman. Hickman has it up top. Outside now, Betsy. 3 is open, takes it, no good off the back iron, works his way back up to Hickman, though, for the rebound.
He wanted that three back so bad.
Simas Lukosius. Spin move just inside the arc, back outside. Bandego now battling his man. Betsy now outside. Gonna take the 3 on that one. There it is. Tyler Betsy finds the bucket.
Give it to him.
His first 3 as a Bearcat, as that puts the Cats up 44-31.
That's 5 threes on the day so far as a team for Cincinnati. Wow.
Stoppage in play will result in the under 4 media timeout. We'll take a quick break here from Fifth Third Rear. You're listening to Bearcat Sports Radio. Welcome back to Fifth Third Arena here in Cincinnati, Ohio. The Cincinnati Bearcats lead this one 44-31 over the Arkansa Pine-Bluff Golden Lions. That one's a mouthful. But 3:36 remains in the first half. Ethan just got on the big board. 0 field goals in the last 2:30 for Arkansa Pine-Bluff. A little bit of a cold spell. Bearcats, we're going to stick with this little bigger lineup they have right now of Connor Hickman, Tyler Betsy, Dylan Mitchell, Aziz Bandego, and Simas Lukosius. A style of a lineup we didn't see much at all last year.
No.
Many big men out there.
I think it's going to come down to how well is the passing going to be to get the ball inside the paint.
Christian Moore up the floor for the Golden Lions, gets it just across midcourt in time, right at the 22nd mark. As he slowly works his way, this is offense, hands it off. Here's Kyle Brown. Brown gets a good pass on a cutting Sawyer, but it's blocked away by Tyler Betsy. Here come the Bearcats. Connor Hickman across midcourt. Aziz Bandego. Tyler Betsy now back up top. Tries to get inside, lob to Bandego, he throws it down. Aziz Bandego slams it home. (46-31), the Bearcats lead this one. 2:50 remains in the first half. Sawyer has it for the Golden Lions. Back up top, makes his way to Moore. Moore now inside the arc. Backs off of Hickman, tries to throw that one off the backboard, no good. Bandego comes down with it. Hickman throws it up to Lukosius. Here's Simas, and there's Bandego. Dylan Mitchell inside the paint, backing down his man. Tries to make the spin move back outside. Tyler Betsy for three. Bang! Tyler Betsy, welcome to Cincinnati.
It's two threes. Tyler Betsy.
49-31, the Bearcats lead. 2:10 remains in the first half. Christian Moore had it for the Golden Lions. Kyle Brown now backs down Bandego. Trying to work his way towards the basket. Tries to make a spin move. He's going to throw that one up. Off the rim it goes. Bandego comes down with it. Connor Hickman up the right side of the floor, playing point guard for the Bearcats with his 5. Sees Bandego top of the arc. Looking down low towards Mitchell. Instead, it's going to get out to Betsy. Betsy on the outside. Little move to his right, back out to his left is Lukosius. Here comes Simas, fouled on his way inside. He's going to go to the line for 1-1. Bearcats on an 8-0 run, 11-1 run over the last 250. 3 for their last 3 from the field. Scoring drought at 230 for the Golden Lions.
I think that, I've said it, and I think Cincinnati is kind of waking up here. Whatever Wes Miller's been feeding into these boys, it's really getting to them. 49-31, I mean they're on track for a 100 bomb. Last time they played Arkansa Pine-Bluff, it was 105.
This feels like a more offensive mind team than
It does.
Year,
it really does.
It just, you can tell with how they're playing. First shot from Simas was no good. Rebounded, though, by Dylan Mitchell.
Take that.
Drive won't stop for the Bearcats. Here comes Mitchell inside the paint. Finger roll, no good. Almost had the and one.
Man.
Instead, he's going to go to the line for 2. Almost a beauty from Dylan Mitchell. You could feel that one.
It would have been, the lid on this place would have blown off if he had gotten the rebound and gotten the finger roll off that. Looks like he got hit in the neck, too. He's kind of massaging his neck. When he tried to go up for that foul, may have gotten hit there.
Surprisingly, only 2 points on the night. First free throw is no good. The Bearcats are 6 for 12 from the line. I take that back. They're 1 for 6. Second shot is up. That one's no good as well. Bearcats having trouble from the line so far. Keep an eye on that. Not only throughout the rest of the game, throughout the rest of the year. Pine-Bluff has it stolen away here by Mitchell. He's coming up the left side. A little speed, slows down, let's get inside the arc. Simas Lukosius. Outside, Dan Skillings. Jizzle James up top. CJ Frederick, no one wants to shoot. Dylan Mitchell inside the paint. That one's no good off the backboard. Rebounded by Pine-Bluff.
See, that's some ball movement I have never seen from this Bearcats team before. They went all the way around the world and finally took the shot. I've only seen that from BYU.
Dumont inside, straight up with Mitchell, but he's going to be called for the foul. That's going to be his first. Crowd did not appreciate that call.
I don't know about that one. I really don't.
I felt as if he had gone straight up.
Dylan Mitchell went straight up on the block and had had number 13 for Pine Bluff, Raphael Dumont, not gone down, Mitchell wouldn't have gotten that foul called.
Dumont's first shot is up, and it's good. Score is now 49-32, a minute and 1 second remains in the first half.
The one thing I will say about this Bearcats team too, they're a second half team. They were all last year. We could see something explode in them in the next 21 minutes.
Second shot was no good from Dumont. It was rebounded by the Bearcats. Under a minute remains in the first half. They lead by 17. Jizzle James left side of the court. Quick handoff to CJ Frederick, gets it right back. Cross-court pass, Dan Skilling slide about the three, drives inside. Pass inside to Mitchell, back up top, Jizzle James. Seamoss Lukosius for three. Got it! Seamoss Lukosius buries it. Cats lead by 20.
This is such an offensive-minded team, yet they're also so unselfish. I mean, again, 5 passes before Seamoss finally got the shot up and he made it.
Inside, down low, Sawyer thought about it. Back outside, makes way to Moore. Up top, Vuga. Back on the right side, Dumont battling inside. Tight defense for the Bearcats. That's going to go out of bounds. 7 on the shot clock, 13 on the game clock.
Good defensive situation for Cincinnati. Arkansa Pine Bluff kind of trying to recreate what Cincinnati's doing right now.
Moore tries to get it in. Mitchell tried to steal that one away from Vuga. Vuga, a little, I don't even know what to call that shot.
I don't either.
Skillings comes down with it. 7 seconds remain.
Spider-Man
Gonna have to
pose
work
there.
quick. Here comes Dan Skillings up the court. Battles his way towards. No foul. It's called. Jizzle James. Possible buzzer beater. Got it. Jizzle James beats the buzzer. The Cats take a 55-32 lead into half. How about them Bearcats?
Wow. That's as calm and composed as I've seen Jizzle James, and it's game 1.
Wow.
You look at that performance, these shots, you clean up the defense, you clean up how you're shooting at the stripe, you are unstoppable moving forward.
14-1 run to end that half for the Bearcats. 6-0 run as well in the last 40 seconds.
Wow.
Oh my. What a first half for the Bearcats.
What a first half. I mean, obviously, some things to look at, some things to improve upon. It's going to be a lot of defensive stuff. It's going to be a lot of things at the line. Which free throws, not something you can work on at halftime. It's kind of something you have to go into on, you're going to go in on Tuesday and you're going to say, okay, I need to take extra shots at the line today. I need to figure out where I need to have my hands, how I'm going to release that ball. But they figure those things out. This is going to be one of the...
To recap the first half. Welcome back to Fifth Third Arena. We are about a minute 30 away from resuming play here in the second half. Ethan right now is taking care of business up and maybe making a purchase of his own up in the concourse, as I just made one of mine. Contributed to the NIL, if you would. But we're going to have some quick first half stats here for you on the Bearcats side. Your leading scorer, Simas Lukosius, finds himself in double figures with 10 points through the first 20. Your leading rebounder, Dan Skillings, with 6. Your leading assist getter is Dan Skillings as well with 4. Other notable points for the Bearcats include Dan Skillings with 9, Aziz Bandego with 9, Jizzle James with 7, Connor Hickman with 8, and Tyler Betsy with 6. A little bit of a down half for Dylan Mitchell and Jizzle James, not being quite as effective as we would have expected from the field. Jizzle still coming away with 7 points as Ethan has returned. I just did a little recap of that first half with some stats there. If you want to talk about the investments that we both just made.
The fact that you had Aiden comes over and is like, hey, I made an investment. I look up. It's a Cincy hat. It's a Cincy light hat. So I said, of course I have to go buy a Cincy light hat.
Support the NIL, as I said.
Of course I have to support the NIL.
That's what I said.
I'm putting this hat on right now.
There you go. We're ready for a big second half here. You know, as I mentioned, the Bearcats looked very well on offense, even without a great half necessarily from Dylan Mitchell and Jizzle James. James still came away with 7 points. Dylan Mitchell only had 2. Other guys stepped up for the Bearcats. Tyler Betsy. Arden and Page even had 4. Connor Hickman with 8. Of course, Simas with 10. I mean, a lot to take forward there for the Bearcats.
It was a fantastic first half, especially offensively. Defensively, a little questionable. We'll see what they come out with here after the half. We'll see what Wes Miller said to his guys. But all things considered, a good first half for Cincinnati. They have won the past 3 home openers under Wes Miller, looking for number 4. Cincinnati's going to start with the ball first here. 20 minutes have gone by, 20 minutes to go. Here at Fifth Third Arena, Aiden Riggs, Ethan Herzog with you. I steal the play-by-play responsibilities for the second half, and here we go. Christian Moore receives the inbound. It'll be Arkansas Pine-Bluff basketball to open up this second half. I was mistaken. Hands it off back to Moore by means of Brown, and it'll be blocked and denied. So Cincinnati out the other way. Jizzle James went down a little bit hard. Dylan Mitchell lobs it in, has Dan Skillings. Skillings looks to kick it back out, does it at the top of the key to Aziz Bandego. Now's at a left elbow to Jizzle James, right back to Simas Lukosius, now into the corner with help. 3 ball on the way. It's short, off the rim, no good from Dylan Mitchell. It's going to be rebounded by Arkansas Pine-Bluff. They'll take it down the floor. Golden Lions trailing 55-32 here in this second half against Cincinnati. Moore with a right elbow. Looks to go in, decides not to, kicks it back out to Brown. Brown, top of the key, hands it off. Has Lewis. He has 3 fouls on the night so far. Looking for a 3. Can't get past Aziz Bandego, though. Now kicks it into the corner. Trying to move forward is Reinhardt. Reinhardt looks to put up a shot. Blocked by Dylan Mitchell. Lobs it up in the air. Shot clock violation for Arkansas Pine-Bluff after Reinhardt threw up a desperation ball.
There's those same offensive troubles we saw for Pine-Bluff at the end of the first half. Only at 1 point in those last 6 minutes of play. Bearcats defense staying tight here to start off the second. We did see that weird collision earlier between Aziz Bandego and Jizzle James. It almost looked like Bandego's knee caught the face of Jizzle James. Keep an eye on James, as he seems fine. We'll keep an eye on him.
He does look all right. Jizzle James 3 for 8, 1 of 2 from 3 so far tonight. 7 points on the board. Simas Lukosius, left elbow. Gets it back from Aziz Bandego, who he passed it to. Simas, floater up in the air, that's good. 2 more points for Cincinnati. 57-32, 18 and a half minutes left in the second half. Moves it up. Moore, crossing the timeline. Trying to get something off. The transition was broken up. Brown still with it in the paint, puts it up. Dylan Mitchell fighting for the rebound. It'll be caught by Jizzle James instead. Over to the left to Dan Skillings. Skillings trying to force his way forward, goes up, had the finger roll. Shot is nullified as the foul occurred before the shot. Will go as a shooting foul still. It's almost like a Euro step from Dan Skillings to get in there.
Brown is coming off the floor limping for the Golden Lions. He's got 5 points on the night.
6'9" junior forward, as it will be an inbound pass Goes to Aziz Bandego. Dylan Mitchell throws it inside the paint, but it's knocked out and taken away by Moore. With speed, coast to coast he goes, as that one's blocked by Aziz Bandego. Second attempt is up and good, but a nice block by Aziz Bandego on Bolton Jr., who just happened to get the ball right back. Now Cincinnati looking to respond. Jizzle James, right elbow. Stopped, guarded by Moore. James lofts it, has Aziz Bandego, kicks it back out top of the key to Lukosius. Lukosius fires it to Dan Skillings to his left. He's going to call Simas in motion, gets a screen off Bandego. Simas back to Dan. Dan, baseline, goes up, too strong. Aziz Bandego gets the rebound, kicks it back out for three for Simas Lukosius, and it's going to be too strong off the rim. Offensive rebound, Dan Skillings, and he finishes it off.
There is so much fight in this Bearcats team. Multiple offensive rebounds, not giving up after the basket. Look at that, just determination from the Cats on offense.
Now almost puts up a three. It was Vuga. Vuga is going to get called for a travel turnover. Cincinnati's ball. 7:12 left in the second half, leading 59-34.
I believe they're going to get Vuga on a moving screen there. He didn't quite get his feet set when he set that screen on Lukosius. I honestly thought they at first were going to get on Lukosius for a reach-in, going around him. But instead it's going to go in the Bearcats' favor. The Bearcats, if they can find a way to pull away in this, we now see them with a 25-point lead. We want to see that offense continue to show. You got to prove yourself in games like these. Continue to put points on the board no matter who's in the game.
Cincinnati ranked in the AP poll for the first time since the 2017-18 season. Last time they were ranked prior to that was from the 19 season. That's when they went to the tournament. That shot blocked by Vuga out of play. It's going to go the way of Cincinnati.
It looked as if the way that Bandego was crashing towards the basket, Jizzle was just trying to throw up a lob to him, and that was read like a book by Vuga. But the Bearcats, they're still trying to get a little crafty here on offense with shots like that.
Dan Skillings, around the perimeter he'll go. Kicks it off into the corner to Jizzle James. James trying to back down his man is Moore. Jizzle puts up a shot, too short off the front rim, rebounded by James. He's going to throw it up, and it's going to be slammed down by Aziz Bandego. Put that on a poster. Moore has the rock. He's at the top of the key. Trying to get in past James. He's going to flip it down to Vuga. Vuga guarded by Aziz Bandego, trying to rotate now to his left. Throws it in. Had a man unmarked in the paint. It was Sawyer, but it's too strong off his fingertips and out of play.
It's a little bit too fast movement there from Pine-Bluff. They're still having a lot of trouble getting an offense even set up. We saw them kind of dominate the Bearcats at the beginning in those first 10 minutes. They were finding baskets left and right. Nothing so far here in this last almost 10.
16-15 left in the second half as a lob goes up from Dylan Mitchell. Too far for the basket, but takes a step, jumps up in the air, and slams it back down. 63-34 your score.
If he would have slammed that in off the lob, this place would have erupted.
Oh, 100%. Moore has the rock. Bounce pass to Vuga. Vuga hands it back. He has Doman. Doman inside the paint, lofts one up. Too strong, but a defensive foul on Cincinnati. So it'll go on Lukosius. It's going to be another trip to the charity stripe for Arkansas Pine-Bluff when we come back. 63-34, number 20th ranked Cincinnati leads the Golden Lions here on Bearcat Sports Radio. Had the rebound after it bounced around a couple of times. Had to come from the opposite corner to go and get it inside the paint. Now Skillings, first free throw up and good. Blackwood, New Jersey native, stands at 6'6". Started 15 games last season, played in all but one game as well. Second shot is up and good. 74-41 is now the score. So we're back to it here. Cincinnati with a dominating lead, 74-41 against Arkansas Pine-Bluff, member of the SWAC Conference. Missed the SWAC tournament last year as that one poked away. Chasing after, it's Connor Hickman, dumps it out, has Arlington Page, and he gets fouled on the way up and almost had a slam. Oh my goodness! to save the embarrassment.
So much happening.
What in the world? That's a grown man out there on the floor.
Oh, my.
So that's Arkansa Page, the USC transfer, 6'11". He's the second tallest man on this team. Is that one far to the left? Far to the right, excuse me. It's going to be a little wide. Missed the first one. The team now 4 for 12, 4 for 13 from the stripe, 31%. It's not the best. Second shot, perfect.
I'd love to hear Wes Miller's comments after the game on free throw
I would
shooting.
too. 100%.
Because this is going to be a problem.
Yes.
I can already tell.
You get into conference play and you welcome Kansas and Arizona to Fifth Third Arena. You can't be missing this many free throws.
It was a talking point last year. It's going to be even more this year at this rate.
If you can score like this, you're 8 for 16 from 3, 31 of 54. You're shooting over 50% in the other two categories. You just got to clean up that free throw shooting. Then you're going to be golden. Caleb Jones calling the play, tries to get it off the screen. Now charges inside the paint. It's blocked by Dan Skillings with a foul defensively on Cincinnati. It's going to be like an off-ball foul.
Just some tough, hard plays.
Connor Hickman.
Tough, hard plays from both teams in this second half so far. A lot of bodies on the floor. Teams are battling.
That's exactly what I see if you're Cincinnati. You want to hold on to that number 20 ranking in the AP poll? You're going to have to beat teams like Arkansa Pine-Bluff by these large margins. Leading 75-41, 12-11 left on the clock for the second half. First shot is up and good from Caleb Jones. Jones' first trip to the line tonight. He's 1 for 3 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3. 3 points total on this matchup so far. Second attempt is up, and it is good. 75-43. They're eclipsing the total for Arkansa Pine-Bluff the last time these two teams met of 49. They are 6 points from that. Connor Hickman receives it from C.J. Frederick. He's standing on the near side, kicks it back, now top of the key. Connor Hickman throws it in, wide open Arkansa Page. Spin move, up and down! Arkansa Page!
Welcome to Cincinnati, Arlington, making his presence known down low.
From the West Coast to the Midwest.
Becoming a slam fest here for the Cats.
100%. Lewis with it, backs down his man, puts up a shot. Hook up and good. 77-45, 11:29 to go here in the second half, excuse me. Now Connor Hickman is going to walk across the timeline, meets Caleb Jones there in the middle. Dan Skillings down low, left side. Centrally, down to the right side to Tyler Betsy. Right elbow, now centrally to Dan Skillings. He's going to charge in, hook shot up and too strong. Second attempt up, no good. Kicks it back out to Hickman for 3. Bang! How about it? Connor Hickman. Here comes Caleb Jones. Arkansa Pine-Bluff kicked away. Tyler Betsy picks it up. Arkansa Page is still loose. It's out of bounds. Who's it on? It's going to be going the direction of Arkansa Pine-Bluff. Wild sequence.
How about Connor Hickman?
How about Connor Hickman? He is 4 for 5 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3, 11 points, now is in double figures. Wow. This team, I said it in the pregame. Excitement, electricity, fireworks. It's coming, and we're going to take a break and be back with more excitement after this. 80-45, Cincinnati leads Arkansa Pine-Bluff. 10:51 remaining in the second half here on Bearcat Sports Radio. The Queen City is electric as we come back here. 80-45 is your score. Cincinnati on top in a dominating fashion. Aiden, what's the lowdown? What are we looking at? We're halfway through the second half.
There's so many talking points when you're looking at this Bearcats team. You know, you've got strong guard play. Dan Skillings, 13 points. Seamoss, the coach, this your leading scorer, 15. But then you just look at these big men. They've really stood out to me. Dylan Mitchell in this second half has come alive. He had a rough first half, only had 2 points. I think he's up to like 8 or 9 at this point. But you see it, him, Martin and Page, and Aziz Bandega. I think they're going to be the big difference maker this year for the Bearcats. The college game as a whole has become a big difference maker. We got these big and strong big men down low really leading the charge. These three, and even throwing in Tyler Betsy, as we've now seen as well. I mean, they're going to make a huge difference for this Bearcats team going down the road.
You have 4 players in double figures, 2 that are about to break double figures. Arkansas Pine-Bluff with the ball. Reinhardt throws it to Moore. Moore back to Reinhardt. Deep 3 ball on the way, and it's too strong. Off the back iron, offensive rebound. Trying to recollect here. Goes back to Jones. Jones drops it, and it's picked up by Tyler Betsy. Betsy quickly in transition. Dan Skillings tries to get there, shoved to the floor. Sends the ball off emphatically in the direction of Tyler Betsy, and it's going to be a fresh shot clock and an offensive change here for Cincinnati. Off comes Reinhardt, and Rayvon Griffith Jr. comes onto the floor for the first time as a Bearcat, highly anticipated. The Cincinnati native went to
Taft High School, transferred to Arizona.
He went to Compass Preparatory in Arizona, made a name for himself out there. The first free throw is up and good from Dan Skillings. But Rayvon, he redshirted last year. Wes Miller wasn't sure how much he'd play, so opted for the red shirt. He's jacked. And I say that as I mean it. Yeah, he's jacked. He spent all of last season in the weight room working on his craft, improving his game, and now here he is, ready to contribute to this Bearcat squad. Second free throw was up and good. Inbound pass goes up and it's out of bounds. Last touch by Connor Hickman.
Yeah, Rayvon averaged 19 and 6 in high school. I mean, this is a scorer coming onto the floor for the Bearcats, just making him even deeper. I'm really interested to see what he does at the collegiate level, as we didn't get to see it at all last season.
Now, full court press coming from Cincinnati. They're going to try this out a little bit here. Was able to be evaded by Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Going to throw it into the corner, has Vuga. Right elbow, rotates, trying to get past Dan Skillings, puts up a shot, blocked by Aziz Bandego. Offensive rebound, throws up a shot. Shooting foul coming, it was on Sawyer. Rayvon Griffith is going to get a foul first before he does anything offensively. And it's going to send Sawyer to the line, shooting 2. He has already been once. He's shot twice, made both. Clawing away at this Cincinnati lead, but you look at it, 82-45 with 10-11 left to play here. First shot is up and too strong, no good.
Triple digits are in play.
Triple digits are in play. 10 minutes to get 18 points. No brainer. Second shot. Just right. It's up. Tripp is 1 for 2. He's 2 for 2. He's 3 for 4 in total.
I will say, as we see Jizzle James come in for Connor Hickman, I'm a little surprised that Dan Skillings has stayed in the game. When he went down hard a couple minutes ago, he did get up limping, and you see him running down the court. He is kind of moving a little strange. I'm kind of surprised he stayed in the game.
Trying to work this one out here. Dan Skillings gets the ball, pump fakes, drives inside, kicks it back out to James. 3 ball on the way, too strong off the back iron. Skillings comes in, gets the rebound, kicks it to Rayvon on the way, and it's no good. Kicks it back out, offensive rebound, Rayvon Griffith. He goes up, off the glass, no good, too strong, and it's going to be rebounded by Asoro. But a foul called on the floor. It's going to be on Asoro. It's going to be 2 shots.
How about Rayvon Griffith?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
Wow.
Misses the 3. Dan Skillings comes, gets the rebound. Rayvon with power goes to the rim. Couldn't quite find it, but he's got a chance to get his first points here.
First points of the Bearcat on the line here in the first game of the season. First shot, up and good. Like I mentioned, Cincinnati native, went to Taft High School. 6'6" redshirt freshman. Second shot is up and good. That's 2 points for Rayvon Griffith. Shot Paljor.
All-name team.
All-name team comes onto the floor for Arkansas Pine-Bluff off the substitution. Cincinnati, light full court press. Skillings and Jizzle are up in the front court. Gonna let Moore sail by. Into the baseline they go. Bouncing around, it's a rebounding ball, and Jizzle James comes down with it. Quickly, in transition, trying to find Aziz Bandego, who's a little ambitious on that pass. It's gonna be picked up by Paljor. It's gonna go over to Moore, near side of the court. Puts up a 3-ball on the way, and it's good. And that was an interesting shot. It was off balance, but he still made it.
Yeah, Christian Moore has really stood out. That's only his 7th point of the game, but he's really been that stronghold at point guard for the Golden Lions all night.
Golden Lions have made it to their point total of the last matchup, 49 points. Cincinnati with 84. Skillings, 3-ball, too short off the front rim. Gets it over to Jizzle James with some help. Now into the corner for Rayvon. 3-ball is good.
Rayvon Griffith.
Tee that one up and send it over. 87-49 Cincinnati. Here comes Christian Moore. Crossing the timeline, spin move off Jizzle James. Trying to advance, kicks it back out, has Lewis. Lewis back to Moore, deep 3-ball on the way, too strong off the rim. Rebound, Dan Skillings. Dan Skillings now in a double-double, 15 points and 10 rebounds. First one of the year in the first game of the year. Jizzle James, wide open, hits Dan Skillings on the baseline. He tries to go up and under, and he's good. Wow, look at that.
Dan Skillings with a double-double officially now with 15 and 10. Make it 17 and 10 on that one. What a game from Dan.
That's a 40-point lead for Cincinnati. Throws up a high ball. Second attempt, no good. Third attempt, up in the air, rebounded by Dan Skillings as he gets his 11th rebound, 6 defensive, 5 offensive. What a game for Dan Skillings so far. Jizzle James, top of the key, kicks it back out. Rayvon, deep 3-ball on the way, too strong. Sailing in for the rebound is Dan Skillings, who's not going to get there in time. Lewis now down the near side of the floor. 7:38 and counting to go in the second half. 89-49 your score. Cincinnati on top of Arkansas Pine-Bluff. Into the paint they go as Asoro goes up, too strong, rebounded Jizzle James. James now, right wing, trying to get in, has the ball poked away. It'll stay with Cincinnati. Last touch by Christian Moore. And that takes us to the under 8 timeout here in Cincinnati. 89-49 your score, a 40-point lead for Cincinnati, but it's not over yet. We'll be back in just a few minutes here from the Queen City. It's Bearcat basketball on Bearcat Sports Radio. welcome back to Clifton. Cincinnati leading by 40, 89-49 in a dominating fashion so far. And fun fact, Arkansa Pine-Bluff doesn't have a single player that has broken double digits yet. Oh, in points. The highest is 9, Dante Sawyer.
That really surprises me in a game like this.
Cincinnati, on the other hand, Dan Skillings with 17, Seamoss with 15, Aziz with 11, and Connor Hickman with 11. Jizzle James has 9, Dylan Mitchell has 8, Erdson Page has 7. So you've got 4 in double figures and 4 about to eclipse. Cincinnati will get the ball back off a baseline inbound after it was poked away by Arkansa Pine-Bluff. Jizzle James will do the honors. Standing at the tee in Cincinnati. What a showing this has been for the Bearcats tonight. Leading by 40. James into Seamoss. Seamoss quickly up and in.
Seamoss found a hole in that defense off the inbound. That was beautiful pass. Quickly to get the easy bucket.
7:13 to go, 91-49 your score. Aziz Bandego pokes it away. The long arms of Aziz Bandego, forcing it into the backcourt, trying to get it. Cincinnati falls on it, kicks it out to Rayvon Griffith. It's still loose, picked up by Jizzle James, and it's up and in! Jizzle James! What are we doing?
Chaos in Cincy! How about these Bearcats?
It's only November and we have plays like it's March. 93-49, under 7 to play. Here comes Arkansa Pine-Bluff. Dumont up, blocked by Aziz with a foul on Cincinnati. I need to catch my breath.
That was a mess in the corner.
Put that on SCAA calls of the week. What's up with that?
That went off with the fingertips of about 4 or 5 different players in the corner, all on the ground.
I'll give you about 8 because both teams touched it multiple times.
Wow.
As the crowd chants Cats by 90, we are 93 point. We have a 93-49 lead for Cincinnati. First shot up and good for Dumont. So they have scored more officially than what they had last time out against Cincinnati back in 2019 by 1 point. So Dumont's going to line up his second. It's up too strong. Rebounded Dylan Mitchell. What in the world is going on? Jizzle James crossing the center court line. 6.5 to go here in Cincinnati. The excitement has not worn down. Rayvon Griffith, left wing, Seamoss, top of the key. Moves over, kicks it back out to the left side. Now to Dylan Mitchell. He's inside the perimeter here. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Tries to get a pass off to Rayvon, but it's intercepted. It goes with Paljor. Now to Jones, now to Dumont. Dumont obviously travels. Very interesting there. Jones puts up a shot, no good. Offensive, it'll be rebounded by Cincinnati. As I don't even know what happened there. Dumont took 3 steps and no whistle was blown. Jizzle James over to Seamoss, right side, puts it over baseline. Aziz gets it, kicks it back out, goes to Dylan Mitchell. Dylan Mitchell to Jizzle James outside the perimeter. 15 seconds to go on the shot clock, and take a breath here. Jizzle James out to Rayvon Griffith. Top of the key, tries to charge in, hook shot up, in, and one for Rayvon Griffith.
Welcome back to Cincinnati, kid.
How about it? 5 points from triple digits, might I add. We're in a severe watch here for triple digits. If they don't score 5 points in the next 5.5 minutes, I'll be concerned.
I think they're in a warning state at this point.
Yeah, I'd see it. Jizzle James as well. You could see a double-double from him. He's set 7 rebounds as the 3-point play is converted upon by Rayvon Griffith. 96-50 the score. Jizzle James 11 points, 7 rebounds. Jizzle James gets a standing ovation from the Cincinnati crowd as he gets subbed off.
That was Rayvon Griffith with the standing ovation.
Oh yeah, his dad as well.
And I just want to mention that Wes Miller is not calling off the dogs. I mean,
no.
He is
big letting
guns
it
in
fly.
The game.
Connor Hickman is the substitution. Your starting lineup is back into the game here. Shot up no good. Aziz Bandego pokes it up in the air, rebounded by Dylan Mitchell. Jizzle James has it across center court. 5.5 to play here. Cincinnati leading in dominating fashion. Seamoss, pump fake, 3-ball on the way, and it is good. Absolute magic from the long gun, Seamoss Lukosius. Here comes Jones. Kicks it off, right side, has Reinhardt. Reinhardt rotating back to his left. Puts up a 3-ball on the way. No good off the back iron. Rebounded by Connor Hickman. It's Dumont throwing up a 3. 99-50 your score. Connor Hickman, baseline. Kicks it over. Dylan Mitchell, up, around, and in. 101 points is your score. 50 points for Arkansa. Pine-Bluff with 4:40 remaining in the second half.
Triple digits in the home opener. You couldn't write it up better for the Bearcats.
Storybook here in the Queen City. Shot goes up, but it's good from Caleb Jones. But that's not going to stop the party. Jizzle James with the rock. The exits are being headed towards. This game is anything but over. Seamoss. Aziz back to Seamoss off the screen. Outside the perimeter, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Jizzle James is going to mark to his right. Trying to get past the baseline, trying to fire it across. Had Connor Hickman open, but it'll be stepped out of bounds. Really a foul, excuse me. It's going to be a foul on Soro. Be his third. Cincinnati in double bonus here.
Close to a platoon substitution coming in. They're bringing 4 for the Cats.
It's that hockey line change. You know a thing about that.
I do.
Mr. Predators fan. Not that I'm not, because I'm a new one here. Jizzle James up for the first free throw, and it's no good. And if I'm going to take anything away from this game, it's just that the free throw shooting is not good, and they have to work on it.
They tried to inch their way to 500 as they're 10 for 20 right now. I mean, this is a problem.
Yes.
This is the only bad thing we've seen all day for the Bearcats.
Other than that, picture perfect. Jizzle James, second shot up and good. Ends it 1 of 3 from the stripe, and he'll get subbed out. Now on the floor, Connor Hickman, Josh Reed, Aronson Page, Tyler Betsy, and CJ Frederick for the Bearcats with under 4 to play. Caleb Jones tries to get off the screen. Looking, can't find an option. Gets it out, has Sawyer. Sawyer guarded by CJ Frederick. 14 seconds on the shot clock for Pine-Bluff. Pump fake. Lewis trying to charge in the back door. Couldn't quite find an open door. Has 5 seconds on the shot clock. Now spin move. Losing time. Puts up a shot, and it's good. Good last second shot from Sawyer. Able to save the shot clock violation. 102 to 54 is the score. Connor Hickman going to slowly dribble his way up the court. Crossing the timeline. Meets Caleb Jones. 19 seconds on the shot clock to work with. Hickman to Betsy on the left side. Betsy throws it inside the perimeter. Has Page. Page cross court. CJ Frederick up for 3, and it's good. The Kentucky transfer and Cincinnati native drains a 3-ball.
Shades of Kentucky. CJ Frederick on that was absolutely knocked down from 3 when he was timed with the Wildcats. Transition it to his time with the Bearcats now.
That one bounces out of play. It'll be Cincinnati's ball after Lewis lost the control. I'm sure you have some nice things to say about Kentucky, don't you?
I do. You know, I'm excited for their season coming up here.
Oh, I'm shocked given that you're a Louisville native.
I'm a Kentucky guy, actually.
Oh.
You know that. I've told you this before a couple times. But hey, they got a new coach and everything, too. It is a new coach as well in Louisville with Pat Kelsey.
Be interesting.
In Kentucky, but big seasons coming in from the state of Kentucky all around.
Now, that aside, we're going to step aside, take one final break. It's the under 4. 105-54 is your score. Cincinnati on top. You're on Bearcat Sports Radio. Welcome back to the Queen City. Bearcats over the century mark, 105-54, leading Arkansa Pine-Bluff. And we're going to see a new face here for Cincinnati. Halvin Zella steps onto the floor. He joined the team to start the fall semester. You know what he did? He captained the French U20 FIBA team this season in its gold medal run.
That's some pretty good accolades, if you ask me.
Also, member of the U19 team, played for Lille's Pro B team in France, which falls in the second division of basketball.
It does look like he's going to wait to come in. He made the motion towards the bench at the beginning of the timeout. I thought he was coming in.
We got a little too ambitious.
We do get Rayvon Griffith back on the floor.
Either way, still some young guns on the floor.
Hopefully we do get to see Zolu, or Zella, I guess is how it's pronounced.
Hopefully. This is a star-studded roster for Cincinnati.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness, what a time to be a Bearcat fan. As Josh Reed dumps it off for Connor Hickman, the newest addition to the group of snipers on this Bearcat squad. Josh Reed, inlet pass, goes to Page. Page, end around, up no good. What a foul on Arkansa Pine-Bluff. Another couple of free throws to the line for Cincinnati. And we'll take a look at the schedule as well. We're awaiting the end of this contest. Moorhead State's your next opponent. That's on Friday. First shot up from Page, and it's up and good. That's at home. You've got two more at home, then two on the road. Northern Kentucky and Georgia Tech. Then Alabama State at home. Second shot from Page, up and good. At Villanova for the Big 12 Big East battle. Then at home for Howard and Xavier, on the road to a neutral site against Dayton, then at home for Grambling State. As Connor Hickman pokes this one away, here he comes, and there he goes. Slams it down. Connor Hickman, 6'2", white boy with a comb over. Doesn't matter. There's the sauce for Connor Hickman.
Clear the lane when he's coming through. It doesn't matter what he looks like. He's going to slam it on your head.
Put that man on a poster. 2:10 to go. Reinhardt to Jones. Left side. Spin move, loses the rock, and it's going to be picked up by Arlington Page. Give it back to Connor Hickman. 109-54, under 2 to play here for Cincinnati. Looks like Chop Paljor is going to head over to the table. He's going to get subbed on. Rayvon with the rock inside the perimeter. 10 seconds to go, backing up his defender. It's Vuga as he puts up a shot too strong. Josh Reed tries to get the rebound, and he can't quite get both paws on it. It's going to go the other way. Here comes Reinhardt. Reinhardt bounce pass inside. Had a Soro, but it's going to be a foul on Cincinnati. And here he comes. Halvin Zella is his name. Where he comes from is Belois, France. Parlez-vous français?
No.
No? No?
Bonjour.
Shot comes up, and it's no good from Jones. Rebounded by Tyler Betsy. Dumps it off to Hickman. Now over to the left side to Rayvon Griffith. Griffith, Betsy, pump fake. Inside he goes, so the whistle blows, and there's a travel called on Tyler Betsy. Je parle français un beaucoup.
Better than I got.
I took French in high school. That's about all I remember. 1:15 to go. 109-54. Cincinnati leads it. Like I said before, all but over here in Cincinnati. Final thoughts coming up in about a minute. Hands it to Reinhardt. Reinhardt loses it, and it's going to be called a jump ball possession arrow, Cincinnati. Zach Reinhardt, the Orlando, Florida native, has it stripped from his hands. And Josh Reed inbounds it to Connor Hickman, under a minute to play. What a start to this season for Cincinnati, with big hopes and big dreams. As Reed outside the perimeter, Hickman throws it up, had Zella, but it goes through his hands, trying to get him his points before the final whistle. I'd imagine we'll see that a couple more times here. There's only two people that haven't scored for Cincinnati. It's Josh Reed and Halvin Zella. That shot up no good for Arkansa Pine-Bluff, and Cincinnati can just hold on to this one. Connor Hickman crosses the timeline to Betsy, and he's going to hold it. Betsy to Reed, and that does it with a standing ovation and a 10-second countdown. Cincinnati wins the first game of the 2024-25 season, 109-54 against Arkansa Pine-Bluff. What a showing of talent and rigor. The fireworks, the electricity. What a preview for what is to come for the Cincinnati Bearcats.
How about these Cats?
How about them?
You can't write it up a better start than this. I mean, it was perfect.
This
triple digits, 50-point win. What else could you ask for?
Nothing. Quite literally nothing.
Well, I will say the one thing is a better free throw percentage.
That is the only thing.
The one thing that the Cats have to build on is that free throw percentage number.
The only thing. Other than that, defensively, stout. Offensively, banging shots left and right. Rebounding, perfect. I mean, just look at this. Dan Skillings, double-double on the day, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 6 were defensive, 5 were offensive. Perfect from the stripe, 6 for 11 from the field, one three-pointer to speak of. Dizzle James had a double-double. 12 points, 10 assists on the day, 7 rebounds, almost had a triple-double. And that's talent that you're going to want to watch out for. Dylan Mitchell, 10 points, 8 rebounds on the day. Simas Lukosius, 20 points, 8 of 10 from the field, three balls on the floor, 4 assists on the day. Aziz Bandego, 11 points, perfect from the field, 5 for 5, 8 rebounds. Rayvon Griffith, 8 points. CJ Frederick, 3 points. Connor Hickman, 13 points, 3 trays, 5 for 6 from the field. Tyler Betsy, 6 points, 2 for 4, 2 for 3 from beyond the arc. Arlington Page, 9 points, 3 of 6 from the field. This team shot 12 of 24 from 3, 42 of 72 from the field, had 48 rebounds, 27 assists, 56 points in the paint, 39 bench points.
Wow.
I could keep going on these numbers. I'm not going to.
It's impressive. This was an impressive showing from the Bearcats. You can't ask for much more. I mean, all around good play. Both sides of the ball had a little bit of a hiccup at the beginning on the defensive end, but man, they've improved. I mean, this has just been so impressive. A lot to be proud of if you're the Bearcats.
Leading scorer for tonight is Simas Lukosius, 20 points, 8 of 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, 1 of 2 from the stripe, 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 fouls on the day, with 1 steal to speak of. And multiple players in double figures, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to be specific. And all of them started this game for the Bearcats. As the alma mater rings out, we give you the final score one more time. Cincinnati 109, Arkansa Pine-Bluff 54 to open up this season. The Bearcats are back in action on Friday against Morehead State to play the second game of this magical season so far. For Aiden Riggs, I'm Ethan Herzog saying so long from Fifth Third Arena.